Oh, busy. Been busy so
Uh,
far. So far.
anyway,
I
hey,
have a lot.
good. Well, good afternoon to everybody, or good morning where you are at, depending. We have here a lady who is a professional female bodybuilder who's competing for quite a while. One Miss Shea
Menchaca.
Menchaca. I'm sorry, and
That's okay.
I'm getting hang of these crazy names. And she competed in a couple of shows of weeks ago. She competed at the Tampa Bay Pro as a bodybuilder and the Texas Pro as a physique competitor. So we like to appreciate and thank you for Miss Machaka for coming through. And please introduce yourself, madam, if you may.
Yes, I am Shea Menchaca. I'm in Austin, Texas. Bodybuilder, pro in physique, but trying to go over to the bodybuilding side if possible.
So, like I said, the first question is this: often I say, how you got into this sport of bodybuilding.
I was 28 years old, and in Houston, and I always was an athlete through cheerleading or track sprinter. And you always have that competitive spirit that you have to find something to do. So working out was always something I did no matter what. But actually, the Body for Life by Bill Phillips, if you remember back that in the day, Bill Phillips started the Body for Life. He was the started for EAS products, and he had a body transformation, Body for Life. And my time I was married at the time, and I had figured my husband and I needed to do something to get our bodies back in shape, right? So, um, so I entered that, and it was a couples transformation, basically 12-week transformation, and then from there it just skyrocketed into competing and self training. Didn't have money for a trainer, and learning everything before the internet and watching videos and on the big cassettes of the Olympias, of the, the big VCRs,
Yeah, I remember.
over and over, and Monica Brandt and Adela and all those people, because fitness and bodybuilding was all you had back then,
Hmm.
in the 1998, 99. So I was in the fitness category at 28 years old, two kids under the age of, two, and 3 and 5, I think it was. I'm sorry, it was 3 and 5. And I was in the fitness taking gymnastics with 10-year-olds. I was like, I'm going to learn how to do a back handspring if it kills me.
I must have forgot. I remember back then the fitness. I think they had like more categories. You had like it was almost like the precursor for CrossFit when fitness kind of started.
Well,
It
you only
started.
had bodybuilding for women and you had fitness for women. That's
Hmm.
it. There was
Yeah,
nothing else in between.
yeah. Because I remember that because it was maybe years after you had figure and all the other
Yeah,
contests.
that came way later. Way
Yeah, way
later.
later.
So
Yeah,
that's what started the career of competing in 1999, 98, 99, and then I did this for as long as I could. But as you know, it's so encompassing. It takes so much from you. I had two small children. I was building a house. I was going to school full time, and had a full time job. And I was still training at 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m. at the time. And then I would take the kids to the daycare, and then I'd work, and then come pick them up, and then put them in the gym daycare, and then do everything I had to do there, and then put them in the bed, and then do more cardio. And that was my days back then, and that was just really a lot. And I felt like my kids were running the daycares, so they were like, they were running the daycares. They knew everybody at the gym, and they knew everybody at their home care. So they were running the show, and I was like, okay, well, either I'm making some really good entrepreneurs here. They were telling everybody what's up. They were
yeah.
writing the rules. They were there all the time, And so I have figured I needed to step back and raise my kids a little bit and get them going before I could. It takes 3-4 hours a day of training to do it right. And I didn't have. I was making that happen, but I didn't have that to give, and something was getting missed, and it was. I felt like the raising of my kids. So I took a step back for 15 years or whatever, and then got back into it once they were uh, out of high school.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. What you might need to do is while I'm here is this because you on YouTube. turn off your YouTube and just be on here with the interview because I think that might be the problem.
I can barely hear you. Let's go ahead, George.
Yeah,
Say again.
I would say turn off your YouTube because if you're on YouTube, we're watching the video. You know that might be the problem. I don't know.
Let me go see what I've got. Can I hold on?
Yeah, because I know we just have a little technical difficulties right here because we get a little reverb back. My man Brooke Burrell, who is the beautiful lady. We'll get back to what I tell her, but we were having some issues. I want to get them cleared up because I know if you listen to the video, you can hear my voice in the background. I know some people don't like that. It might be she might be on the YouTube also watching it, and you know, or it's, I don't know. It's just something, but we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out. And here she goes. You know,
Sorry.
yeah, that's all right. We'll just go ahead and it is because this is still a good interview. Anyway, got a guy who follows me. He says, "What's up, brother George? This is Brooke Burrell," and also he wants to say, "Who is the beautiful young lady?"
Oh, well, my name is Shay, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and you know,
I'm
like,
still young, but I'm holding on tight.
yeah, like the quote one of my favorite characters, the Joker. You know, you are beautiful.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, but anyway, that's like I said, that's the thing. Being that you're a mother, you were working, you had, you know, it's like most female bodybuilders. But people think like that. People think this idea that female bodybuilders just lifting weights, pumping, but there's quite a few of you who are mothers, who are wives, who have families, and you know, you made a decision to step back for a moment and to take care of your children, and then because you know, sports are always going to be here, but
Yeah,
your children need you most of all.
yeah. So what was the question to that?
I was saying that you took a step back and you were took
Yeah,
care of your kids,
yeah.
and you know that was more important because the sports are always going to be here.
Definitely, it was more important. I mean, I just kind of person. If I can't give it 1,000%, then I'm not gonna waste my time with it. So, I couldn't give. I had to give. I chose to have my children, and I love my children to death. So that they were babies, and they needed to be raised. And the sport, I just kept running and just working out, but nothing like I did when I was training. But yeah, I chose my family over those 17 years over the sport for sure. But now that I have the opportunity, I've purchased a gym 9 years ago, and I quit my corporate job. And I'm sorry, my corporate job was laid off, basically, or what's the word? They closed my position because of a new acquisition, and it just kind of gave me the opportunity to do what I wanted to do. It kind of shoved me out and said, "Okay, it's your time to go do what you want to do. You've been working for everybody for all this time, and you've been doing what other people want. Now go do what you want to go do." And I'm not sure if I chose it or this or the job chose me as far as owning the gym, but I just fell in love with a hardcore style back in the day, Rocky style gym that I own. It's called Metroflex, and it's a warehouse style gym. And you know, in my corporate life, I was selling, traveling the United States and Canada, raising my kids, and on the go. But I just never felt like I was making a difference in someone's life, So when I purchased the gym, I kind of just fell into it and started training again and training people. And at the end of the day, when my clients would, and today, when they're getting off their diabetes medications or getting off their uh, hormone medications that are keeping them from, like, trying to keep their mind balanced, or they're trying to get off depression medicines, and they're getting off all these medicines through exercise and diet, then I know that I've chose the right job. When I'm getting that feedback from them, I know I'm making a difference.
Yeah, and you said your gym was a Rocky style gym, huh?
It's a
Yeah,
Rocky style
like
gym.
Rocky, you know,
Yeah, exactly. It's hardcore.
you
It's
got a guy
hardcore.
named, yeah,
It's
you got a guy,
Texas, no
yeah,
AC, outside.
you got a guy named Mick say, "We're gonna make you eat lightning and crap out thunder."
That if you look at one of my videos, that's exactly what my trainer tells me.
Anyway, we got what's your name? Brooke is saying, Miss Shea, do you have any advice for a young man in a wheelchair who's training to enter the bodybuilding world? Because he came through one of my interviews, and Brooke's wondering, do you have advice for somebody who is in a wheelchair who wants to be a
Well,
bodybuilder?
if that's what you want to do, let's do it. Do it. There should be nothing stopping you back. There's people doing it every single day. There's categories for people in wheelchairs on the stage. Find a trainer that can help you get to get you your results and understand the body. That's probably what I would tell anybody in any position, that find someone who knows more about you than you do. So it speeds up the process and getting you to your goals. But a wheelchair shouldn't hold you back. I'm sure he's doing fine, and he's doing things every day that most people do, and he's probably doing it better. So let's go. Do it.
Yeah.
Don't let it hold
And
you back. There's no reason why it holds you back today. No way.
yeah. Brooke, she's from Austin, Texas. Brooke's from the Bronx. He's from the Bronx, the Boogie Down Bronx in New York. She don't have a location in the Bronx, but she's in Texas. But if you like to, I got her information on social media. Just check it in the description. Try to make contact you and Sue. She does fitness. She does prep meals.
Yep.
She's a Jane of all trades.
Well, we
Also, I got coming through my man Marcus Bell. That's my brother from CS Combat Sports. He says, hello, Shay, and all the way George Page coming through. Smash that like.
I know.
Also, a dear friend of mine, Miss Fishiana. She's coming through, dropping her heart. I really appreciate y'all. No appreciation, Miss Shay. And thank you for coming through.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
it's just,
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if the gentleman's in Austin, but my gym. We also I have a hot Shea's Hot Kitchen that is sets outside of the gym. So we do all prep meals. We do, it's a trailer. It's a trailer. It's a food trailer. So we started that because of most of my clients that they just couldn't. They could stay. They could work out. They can do what they needed to do, but they can't get their meals together. So
yeah.
you know what? I kind of started doing it for a couple clients, and then just went to the next client, and now I've got a whole business out of it, that you can walk up and pick up healthy foods at any time, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, or you can call in and have your meals prepped for Austin local for pickup. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the
Also,
whole gamut.
another brother of mine coming through, the number one grinder, the underrated darkest. Good morning, underrated. I appreciate you coming through, brother. Me and him, we do muscle, MMA talk on Sundays with my other brother Exe Gucci, and
Uh-oh. What'd you do?
we talk about MMA. And like I said, your sport, like MMA, is especially for the women, because I do a lot of content about women in mixed martial arts. I just did a video last night. They had a fight in PFL, and female bodybuilding like that. Y'all get a lot of. It's harder for y'all compared to the men,
Yeah.
because you don't get a lot of attention compared to your male counterparts. The money is kind of not as generous compared to the men.
That's true.
Yeah, and you really, and mostly what I'm learning, you really do sport for a passion. Like
That's
I was,
100%.
yeah. Also, this I want to say this real quick. A lady yesterday I did an interview with Mrs. Wendy Sanchez told me that you have a great physique.
That I had a great physique.
Yes,
Oh, well, thank you, Wendy.
yeah, and this is why I like y'all ladies that have this y'all backstages, y'all. It's like a little camaraderie. Also, there's a little cadness because I know that sometimes some women have issue with each other. Just y'all women often sometimes can be a little a handful. But what?
I'm fortunate, man. I got a great team around me of male and females, and we all just push each other. We're all on the same team. I'm, there you get the cattiness here and there. Not in my world. I'm
Mm,
very very fortunate. We got a lot of
yeah,
support.
yeah. Like especially you say you have your kids. Like, how old are your kids now?
My oldest, well, I have four, two from marriage, and then two myself, but they're all my kids. I raised them one way or the other, and still are. We've got 28, 26, 23, and 21.
Yeah, because you're a mother by nature and a mother by nurture. That's special.
That is correct.
That's special. Like I said, I do content, and I did a while back. I did for Mother's Day. I did a comparison video where I talked about female bodybuilders in the sport. I did women who had children by nature, and also I did women who had children by nurture. And it's just a special thing being both
Yeah,
athlete, a woman, and being a mother. Now,
yeah.
as your kids, how they feel about you being this muscular woman? How do you hanging around with them? We have like you around their friends say, "Wow, man, your mom's buff."
all they they are so supportive. I mean, I'm not even lying. They've been seeing me do this since they were 3 and 5. You know, when we're doing fitness, we used to sit around and try to do all the agility moves that we would try to learn them together. You know, so with my two boys. As we've grown up, you know, yeah, of course, they've had a couple of their friends say, "Hey, your mom's like, you know, this or that," but at the end of the day, they always end up hooking me up with one of their friends to help them with a diet plan, or you know, just give them advice on what they should be doing. So, and then I hear them talk about it behind my back, you know, something positive. So whether they say it to my face or not, they're all on board.
Yeah, that's great. And also, your husband, does he support your, you
Hundred
know,
thousand percent. He always says, what does he say? I'm just here to hold the reins of the horse, you know. But he's 100% all in. He helps me with he's of course half the owner of all the businesses, and you know, he's always been in the oil field and those kinds of businesses. And I've got him helping me with some of the things here with the food cup prep companies, and so he is 1,000% on board with helping me. He gives me no grief, and you know, that's what makes it so awesome, is because this sport takes so much time away from your family. It does. So there's a lot of women that I see that have a hard time getting through it without the emotional burden from their spouse, because it's seemingly selfish, but any sport that you do, that you're going to do at a pro level or at any Olympia level, it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of priority, period. Just so happens that what we do has to do with our body. So people look at it as narcissism. It's how fast can a skier get down the mountain? You know, how fast can they run the race? That's their timing. That's their achievement. How ours is how good can we make the body look? So it's going
mhm.
to take years, and a lot of time every day, 3 plus 4 hours away from others, and he is 1,000% gives me zero slack.
Yeah, that's a good because
Yeah, I'm
it's
I'm super blessed, super blessed.
yeah, 'cause it's good to have a strong man, you know, support his wife, his
Oh,
woman, you know, and
I couldn't
stand
ask for
by
more.
her.
Couldn't
Yeah,
ask for more.
because
And I'm not even making that up. I can't. Anybody knows him knows I'm not. I'm speaking the truth.
yeah, and that's wonderful because you know what? Because you got to deal with you have people that support you, that love you, and you have people out there like you know, especially on social media, they have issues with with muscle, like you know, you got too much muscle, you know, when you try to be a man, you try to no, you're an athlete.
Yeah.
You're no different from a gymnast, a
Thank you.
boxer,
Agree.
you know, any other athlete. You're doing what you're doing. You prep, get ready, and you know your sport is you know this just a few days ago, your sport had took a big hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
and you know, and right now there's a big, you know, I think there's a big push for change.
Yeah.
And right now I'm gonna like, if you want to check it out, I'm going to do a panel on Sunday with some ladies, and we'll talk about that. And it's just that your sport gets that finger point at it because like, oh, you're on drugs, you
Oh my.
yada 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 yada. But then you gotta think about it. As I was talking with some other ladies, that there's so you know you gotta look at baseball, boxing,
Right.
hockey, all any major sport. There's always going to be use of drugs, and that's just you know, and just because your sport, because it's you know it's more noticeable, and some people see
Well,
it's more of
everybody who has no idea about bodying always thinks that your results are coming 100% through steroids. They always think, so, well, she can only look that way because she takes steroids. They have no idea. I mean, you could take all the steroids in the world and not have a proper diet and a workout program, and you would never look that way, you know, and not doing the cardio. And I'm a big fan of HRT. You know, I'm all about hormone replacement therapy. I'm 51 years old. I am not a spring chicken. I am, whether I do this sport or not, I believe in HRT to keep the body balanced. And I do believe if you're going to take something, do it under a doctor's care. Um, that's it's and keep yourself well noted on your blood work and those kinds of things. But I'm a big fan of HRT for everybody, whether you're a bodybuilder or not. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that go through depression and they're laying on the couch and they don't know why they're tired all the time and they're gaining weight and they're just don't have no motivation. Well, they have no testosterone, you know, or their estrogens are way too high, or whatever the case may be. That doesn't have to be that way. Our bodies are going to decline with aging as we go. That's given. Why not give it a little bit of boost and help it through proper channels?
Because like I said, steroids don't make you hit a ball harder. It doesn't make you, uh, do go a little long. All it does is helps you in training. And if
Right.
you don't use it to assess, and
Yeah. Anything.
that's yeah, because
Right. Anything.
sometimes that's
Food
yeah,
to excess.
yeah,
You can have too much good food too.
yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I just ate the baby.
Trust me, I do too.
Yeah, and really, I really have respect for your age, what you do. Because I said again, this sport is not cheap. As you know,
No, it's definitely not
yeah,
cheap. It's not
yeah.
cheap.
And
Hmm.
like I said, anybody who's listening to this video, who's watching it, she has a Cash App. She's also has other things you want to donate to her because these ladies can use a little extra help, especially when they got lots of they got like I keep saying like this between their prepping, their dieting, their travel expenses, their suits that cost them a lot because the male bodybuilders they're wearing banana hammocks for $50 and y'all gotta wear, you know,
$1,800 suits. Yeah.
yeah, and that is expensive. And I talk about this, and I've said this because, and we was mentioning how me and Wendy Sanchez were talking about how everybody comes see the guys because they're the ones who get most of the sponsors, get all the money. You women get like what we will say the trickle off because the fact is it's about who they really come to see. And even though it should be fair that you should get just as much money, I'm not saying the guys will get $30,000. At least get you 10, and that is maybe enough to help out because after all of that, and when your prize money, that just eats up between taxes and everything else, and then you might be just in the hole.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying, and I agree with everything you're saying. I just, I can honestly tell you, I don't do it for the money. That's for sure. I 100% do not do it for the money. You know,
Mm-hmm.
doing what I do helps me with my career because I'm a trainer and I own a gym and a food prep company, and that's where I basically sponsor myself. So, through my own just hard works, but when I won Masters, Pittsburgh Pro Masters, I went off the stage and I was like, they handed me an envelope and I go, "What is this?" And they're like, "It's your money." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we get paid. I forgot."
I won't forget where I get paid.
Right,
I remember
it's
when I
like,
used.
"Here's your money," and I'm like, "For what?" And or here's your prize, and I'm like, it's an envelope, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot we get paid." I mean,
Oh,
not that the money doesn't matter. It does. It makes it was nice. I still have that. I still have that money in the envelope that given to me, not in spec. Because it was my first one. But because I'm at that, it just meant that much to me. But it, it was cooler. It was cool. But I do it definitely because I love it. There's
yeah, I
no.
remember when I used to have my job. When you gave my envelope, I forget. Oh wow, I appreciate. Hey, am I getting off early so I can go to the bank?
It was good stuff. It was good. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was great.
What was that feeling when you first hit the stage? You're out there, you have the lights shining on you, you have people looking at you. You know, what was that feeling?
That was, well, it was during the whole 2020. Well, I got my pro card in 19, and then the COVID,
Yeah,
the COVID hit.
I call it the virus. I don't like to say any other words.
Yeah,
I
the
call it
C
the
word,
virus.
that other C word.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I own the gym, so I was able to work out. But mentally, it was I would say I'm a pretty strong person mentally. I don't have struggle with a lot of. I'm pretty solid. I just roll with the punches. Been that way my whole life, and you just keep moving. And other than the fact of just the unknown of the business here and there, what was going to go, what was going to happen, what was we're going to be able to open, we're going to shut down, we're going to lose it, where we not, that stuff worried on you. But I was still able to work out. My first pro show, my debut was in Tampa, and I did horrible. I did horrible. I was not ready for it, and I just did horrible. But I took about 6 weeks, and then I think it was 6 weeks to the next show. So I went from last place, dead last in Tampa, to first place in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Now, I did that was Masters in Pittsburgh, and I did Open and Masters in Tampa, but I still got pretty much dead last and take it
Yeah.
from zero to 100. It
Yeah,
was
and yeah, because that was Tampa is one of the biggest shows in the season. Because you had Chicago to Tampa, then you had Olympia, and I'm gonna show y'all something real quick because I sent this picture a while back, and it is a really amazing picture her with another competitor that I follow, and that is one Miss Tamara McCarr. And you guys see this lady has an amazing body. Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta see this. I'm gonna show you real quick. And there they go together. You
yeah.
know,
That was
yeah,
at
that's
it was
just
at Tampa this year. Yeah.
yeah, I just wow. I mean,
She's a cool person. You know, I got to meet
yeah,
her. She actually came into Austin and text or I Instagrammed me and messaged me that she'd be coming to visit my gym and just asked how day passes. I'm like, you're a pro. It's free for pros. You know, it's free for active pros. And she
yeah,
was just so blown away that I'd allow her to come for free. But I do that for we do that for the pros. And they get to work out for free.
yeah.
Um,
Because
it's what we give back. They worked hard to get there. If they're active pros and they're competing, they're free.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, and she loved it, and I got to meet her, and then we just became Instagram friends, and then in person friends, and then we were in Tampa together. That was right after judging. Yeah.
hey, yo, y'all just amazing, yo. Okay, Smoke, I'm gonna put it back, yo. So y'all, put away your Kleenex and your lotion. So because this is like guys, we just love y'all ladies when y'all are in condition. We love you when you're off season. You're just we're fans of your physiques and the work y'all put in. Y'all really put in a lot of hard work. And this is just not anybody can just get off their couch and do this. Like I said, it takes years and years training, prepping,
Yeah.
dieting. You have to make a lot. Like with my interviews I've done with a lot of these ladies, they tell me the sacrifice they have to make. Like you can't eat certain things you want to eat.
Yeah.
You got to eat about every like 7, 8 times a day. You got to do cardio, cardio, cardio. I was watching one lady who said she did cardio, and she said her legs are burning, but she was she had to do a cardio. And I told her
Hmm.
once, what you do like this when you do cardio, that feeling like that, feel like you're walking through hell, but like you own hell when you walk through it.
Yeah. I end up doing about 2 hours of cardio a day. Usually, I end up usually doing 2 hours, and I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit more next year. Trying to get
Mm,
because I definitely wasn't lean enough this year, so we'll see what happens. But usually around 2 hours of cardio is what I end up doing too.
yeah, because I know that show there's quite a lot of ladies who are about your age, around the 40 to 50 plus. And it's also the Tampa. They had the women's physique 40 plus.
Right.
Would you have jumped over and done that any opportunity to, or you would just stick with the bodybuilding?
This year I was completely trying. I went to my coach and I said, "Look, I won first in Pittsburgh and I got second in Baltimore Masters. So I feel like I've won one. I got first and second, and I would like to try Open. I don't expect anything out of doing Open because I know it's very competitive. Because he also said this is very, very competitive, Shea. Just let you know, and I know. I mean that means that's going to be very hard for me to find my way there. But I said, I want to do it. I want to do it because I want to see where I land amongst these people to know if I even have an opportunity to work harder to make it to Open and do better. Not win, do better, because it's very hard. I mean, it's very hard, very competitive. These girls are phenomenal. They've been doing it for a long time, or some of them have not been doing it a long time. They're half my age, or they're just they just got better. They just look better than I do. They've got it better than I do right now, and I'm 51 years old. Again, started back doing this at 46. And, it'd be one thing if I'd been training for 10 years and then I'm 51 years old, but I'm starting at 46, after my 17-year break and then trying to make it to the top, which I got my pro card and won some pro shows. So I had told him that I would like to try it. So I want to use this, and I think you may have heard in my last interview with the NPC, I want to use it as research and development. I want to try some things different. I'm not expecting to win this year. I'm going to do the work just the same. I'm going to push hard and just see where I land. And that way it'll give me a better roadmap for next year of what I'd like to, of actually trying to win. So I had to really take the time and take some kicks to the teeth, and and I got last placings in both of the Tampa and the Texas Pro, not last, but bottom six, bottom eight. Um, but I expected that, and it just kind of let me know what I need to do for next year. So I had really originally thought I was going to do the Savannah Pro this year, but after I did those two, that's all I needed to hear. And now we go to off season and we start building.
Because I know, like you say, you've done masters, and there's a lady who I did an interview with, two ladies who did an interview with. Miss Winnie Sanchez is Marianne. I'm gonna skip her name. Wykowski. They both also competed at the Pittsburgh Pro Masters and Masters. And the thing is that I talked about this, and they should be more Masters shows, and also it should be Olympia qualified.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, because
I've been saying that for, I'm like, we have all these divisions or these shows that have masters, 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 and some pay out and some don't. But I don't understand that, other than the fact that maybe it just doesn't bring as much attention and money
that's
to
true.
the game. But if all these people my age are still in the game and they're looking, when I got my pro card, I got it at Masters Pittsburgh Masters Nationals, but I got it in 45 and over, 40 and over, and 35 and over. I hit it 3 times, and I got first in bodybuilding, all the same show. So I'm thinking there's a place for all of us that are wanting to compete. And what if we didn't have a Masters Olympia, but we had a Masters Classic? A finale to the big picture. All these people, I can't imagine that not bringing a pretty good audience. We're at the age where we have the money to compete. We're at the age where we have the people that will go to the shows and travel and bring some money in. So I would like to see them graduate to like a Masters Classic or something.
Yeah, because there's a lady who I follow by the name of Maria Flores. She's a former military. We have to thank her for her service. She's only 10 years older than you. You get also people like Irene Anderson, who's like 55.
Yeah.
You have a while back you had Zeno King, who I know is who had the longest. Like a lot of people bodybuilders take a break, come take a break, and year or two out here. Yaxini, she came back last year at 53, and she before that she had was steady. She never took any time off. Being the first Miss Olympia to be a mom
Yeah.
in history, and she was steady. If you ever look at her history, she competed every year except for these last few years where she took a break for a while through her business, and then she came back. And I was talking with a lady who I follow, Mr. Another few about it, but like she should have took a little more time and really come back. She's still impressive for a
Yeah.
woman at 53.
Yeah. Well, I hope to still be doing it at 53. I'm 51 now, 52 next year, April, and I hope to be doing it still and doing better every year. I hope. I know the body wants to decline as we age, but I have a great HRT company that I use, and I have a great coach, and I have a great trainer, and I have the will to want to do it. So
Yeah. Now, we can hear that. Who do you really like look up to? Who do you see as the standard? Because in the sport now.
well, now, I mean, but what got me started was the Corey Everson days. Corey Everson, she was, she's still amazing. I follow her on Instagram, and she's a pretty cool girl, lady, I should say. And I think Hella Trevino, I really appreciate her a lot. I like, I don't know her personally. I would like, and I'm considering trying to hire for some training for trying to help my biceps get larger, because I know she struggled with that, and you should always try to hire someone who struggles with the same things that you struggle with, because they know it better. Maybe going and visit in California. I've talked to her last year about it, and then maybe doing a week of training with her. I look up to her. I like her. I like her practices a lot.
Hmm. That's pretty good because I follow Helen Trevino. I follow also I follow all you ladies.
Yeah,
Because it's just just being a fan
yeah,
of you and your passion and commitment.
yeah,
And as I was thinking like this, it takes a lot to do what y'all do, and and people got to understand that. And there's guys who are, as we know, smos who love y'all. There's a smoke saying, like when you ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard.
whatever we can do to help.
Appreciate it. And like this is what one thing I want to say. Um, with things going on now, as we know, we were talking about earlier, what would advice you would give? Like I said, like a man Brooke asked advice. What advice would you give somebody coming up in the sport who really wants to get to a certain level? What advice would you give them?
Okay, well, unless you're a freak of nature, this is going to take some time, you know? So definitely, if it's what you love, then be patient, and you're going to take the good and you're going to take the bad, and you just can't take it personal. It's a sport. The sport happens to do with our bodies. You can't take that personal because you're less or more than somebody else next to you. That's what we get up there for, is to be judged so that we can be improved upon. And it doesn't happen overnight. These people get in there and they think they're going to get their pro card uh, within a year or two, and some do. The freaks of natures do, but most don't. And for years, I know people 15, 17 years still trying for it in men's bodybuilding, and they put the work in every year, like nobody. But to be patient, to study up, to educate yourself, to understand your body, to surround yourself with a team that gets it and understands it, if that's what your goals are.
Hmm. Yeah, and I know Texas is becoming a mecca for bodybuilding now. The last few years, the lady who I did an interview with, she become good friends with Brittany Big Memory Brooks, and a lot of ladies. As you know, recently, was it Lahana Robinson, who won the women's figure at in Texas. You had Ashley Jones, who won at the Texas
Yep.
Pro. It's just, Mila Ash, who's from Texas, who made the switch in bodybuilding last year, and now she's number 4 at the Olympia. And
Yeah.
I mean, I see like Texas is becoming a mecca now. It used to be California, and you have Florida. I think because of the weather, you had that bad snow a while back. How was you? How did you do?
Is that what was the question?
You had that bad snow to hit a while back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That was bad. Yeah, it was
yeah.
bad. We don't know how to do it. We don't know how to do with snow here.
Yeah, same thing here. I'm from North Carolina,
Okay.
and like I said, my favorite movie is the Dark Knight series. I love the whole the Christopher Nolan. And there's a part where, you remember the part where he's talking to Harvey Dent. In my version, I do like this, like when it's like up north when it snows, it's like 6 foot and no one blinks an eye. But when it snows, it's down here, everybody goes crazy.
Yeah, it's not. It was not good here. We hope that never happens again.
No,
We had
yeah,
no electricity or heat or
oh
anything
God,
for what, months, a
yeah,
month, 3 weeks, month.
yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah. But like I said, this is fun, folks. I mean, if you have any questions you want to ask Miss Machaca while we're here, share like I said, share this video, like, comment, subscribe, because you know what? I'm at 500 subscribers, so that is a great thing. It took
Good
me a while
job.
to get to this. I started this because I was taking care of my mother. She was sick, and she passed away last year because
Oh, I'm sorry.
and it was because of COVID. She caught it, and she really inspired because I can see the quality. That's why I love women like you. I can see being you, a single mom, raising kids, and I love these qualities about a woman. I was raised by my mother and father were married for a good while, but well, they were married for 55 years, but 20 it was 30 of it, he was living in Jersey, she was living down here.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your mother, but I'm sure she's very proud of you.
I know, I appreciate that. Anyway, like I said, I know you're a busy lady, and I don't want to hold you up.
I'm hosting a 1-year-old birthday party tomorrow at my house, so
Oh,
that's what I'm doing
were your
today.
grandkids or?
No, actually, my one of my trainers, his firstborn. So they're gonna
Oh,
have a little pool party at my house tomorrow. So that's what I'm doing, is getting ready for a 1-year-old birthday party.
oh, that's great. That's so sweet. Hey,
And I will be eating cake, just to let you know.
yeah, because I'm gonna see you something crazy. That I make little, make little pictures. I see something crazy. You're gonna laugh at it when I send it to you, and you're gonna like it when I send it to you later. But like I said, if you have anybody you wanna give a shout out to, recognize to, also drop any anything that you want to do.
Well, I appreciate you for doing what you do and
Yeah.
highlighting us athletes that we're not always on the mainstream, not all of us, but we do the work, and we hope for the best. And I appreciate you for doing being so positive, a positive influence. What we do,
That's not what I'm wearing my Wakanda shirt. Wakanda forever!
and
Bodybuilding forever!
forever, Rocky style.
Woo!
My Metroflex Austin family, my Shea's Hot Kitchen family, my husband who puts up with me through the good and the bad and the dirty and the ugly and all that stuff. For first and foremost, Dennis, and my kids who support me as well, and my sisters and my brothers and all my whole family who really they've accepted this, and they just know they know I'm an athlete my whole life, and they just keep cheering me on.
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, everybody, you want to thank Miss Menchaca for coming through, sharing her story. Hope maybe we get a chance we can talk again. If maybe when the season starts back up, or just anytime, just let me know. Just drop her. You grab me on IG, just drop it. Folks, I have her information in the description. Reach out to her. And here's my rule. I tell you to you smokes, you freaks out there. You know, no D pics, none of that stuff.
No, new.
She's a married woman.
Nope, seen it. Don't need to see anymore.
Yeah, don't want to see your
Raised
Vienna sausage. You know, even if you got a baby leg, don't show that to her. Uh, this is what I want you to do. For the smoke, just give us a little pose so they can have something to dream about when they go to sleep and and they have a wet dream.
Say that again.
Give us a little pose so the smoke has something
I
to dream
got
about when they
nothing. I'm 193 pounds today. Let's see. We got. There we go.
Yeah, they'll take that. They'll take that. Yeah, like I said, they'll take that. They'll take that. There you go, you smokes. So make sure you have your Kleenex and your jergens when you get ready. You get to know me, you realize I'm crazy.
Y'all nuts. Nuts.
Anyway, like I said, I like to thank y'all for coming through. I'd like to thank
Thank y'all.
my man, Miss
Appreciate
Shea Menchaca. You're a lovely lady, and like I said, you are a beautiful lady.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And yeah,
All 193 pounds of me.
we'd like to thank my brothers, the underrated darkness coming through, Miss Ficiana, Marcus Bell, Brooke Burrell. We want you brothers to keep inspiring to become a bodybuilder. Share this comment, like, subscribe to Miss Menchaca. Like I said, her information is in the description. Reach out to her, make a little donation if you like, if you got the time. I know things are a little tough, but it doesn't hurt to do like that.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's your man, all the way at your page, aka the Emperor of Female Vitamin Talk, coming to you live on YouTube, and we are out. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.